Welcome to ETN Community Spotlight, where we shine the light on a local nonprofit organization. I'm Derek Silas. Join me as we talk to today's special guest. We here in Enid are privileged to have such great organizations that are willing to reach out and give back to the community. The name of the organization itself, I assume, was adapted from Matthew 6:11, give us this day our daily bread, or Luke 11:3, give us day by day our daily bread. So Sandy, tell me, let's talk about the history of this nonprofit organization. What made it all begin? Did the founder see a need for this and start the ministry?
Well, what happened, we had the oil boom, and then it went kaput. Okay, people started coming to the church for a handout. They were hungry. And so our priest at the time was not what you call Chef Boyardee, and so he was handing out bologna sandwiches. Well, this kept going on, and so he talked to the ladies of the church and said, we have to do something. So they prayed about it, and they decided that they could have soup and sandwiches and hand them out in the basement of the church. And that's how it got started. Well, when they were praying about it, they said, well, what are we going to name it? And so Our Daily Bread, that's what they were giving out. Well, over the 2 or 3 years, it kept getting bigger. So they moved inside, and it kept growing. Well, the school had come down by that time. We did no longer have a school. So our priest at the time said, okay, move into the classrooms. They're on the grounds. So that's where Our Daily Bread was. It was on the classroom. And we had 2 classrooms, and they took one wall out and made it, bigger so that they could have a kitchen and a place for people to sit. And then later on, we got a 3rd one for a storeroom. Well, they decided that they were going to put school back online. And we had reached the point anyway that when we would serve, we would have so many people, we'd have to stop the line because we didn't have enough space. And so they would have to wait till somebody left before they could, get their meal and sit down. Well, when they decided to put school online, it was nothing to do, but we had to move. Well, I looked all over Enid for a suitable place, and there just wasn't. Well, across the street from the school and the church, there were, 3 or 4 big apartment houses that had been condemned. And so we received a $75,000 gift. And so with that $75,000, we bought the property and tore the buildings down. Then we got the architect and the board met and decided what we were going to do. Of course, I had to go to the Archbishop too and talk to him. And we were looking for this grant from this one company, and the Archbishop said, you won't get that. He said, that company never gives to church organizations. And I said, I will bet you that they will. And he said, how much you want to bet? And I said, well, I've only got $1 in my pocket. He said, you're on. He lost his bet. And he ended up paying me $100. He said that the Bible says you pay back 100-fold. So, but anyway, we raised $500,000 to build it. Now, I say we, the whole town raised it. I went and talked to probably half the churches in this town, and they were so generous and so helpful, especially Emmanuel and Willow Road Christian Church and the Methodist Church. And I mean, they opened their doors and their hearts and their wallets. And that's how we built the soup kitchen. And when we dedicated it, it was in August of 2001, we didn't owe a dime. Everything was paid for. We had a lot of used equipment. I'd gone to a lot of auctions, but it was all free and clear. We didn't owe anybody. Didn't have much money in the bank, but we didn't owe anybody. So it turned out to be a real community effort, and we were really pleased, that everybody did that for us. The Catholic Church actually owns it, but somebody has to own it. But we consider Our Daily Bread ecumenical because of the 70 volunteers we have a week, about 70 volunteers. They come from all the churches. Some of them don't even go to church, but they come to the soup kitchen to feed God's hungry.
Okay. Now, what is your role in the organization?
I'm the director. I make sure all the little wheels turn, all the machinery's working, and got enough volunteers for that day, and if I don't, then I jump in and take their place. So.
Okay. So give me an overview of how the program works.
Our doors open from 7 till noon, And we have a light breakfast in the morning for the people that come in. They have orange juice and water and coffee. In the winter, when it's really cold, we fix hot chocolate. But we usually have donuts and, you know, like what they call a continental breakfast type thing. And at 9, we usually stop at about 9:30 because at 10:30 we start serving lunch. We serve from 10:30 till noon. And that's, you know, that's 5 days a week. And then, of course, we try to get out of there by 2 o'clock.
Do you know how many people you serve on a week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis?
Week to week, month to month, no, but we served about 70,000 meals last year for the year.
Wow. Now, in order to make this program work, you have to have a lot of volunteers.
Yep.
How does that work? How many volunteers do you have?
We have about 70. It takes about 15 volunteers a day, and that's not counting our drivers. We have a van that goes out. It goes out 6 days a week, actually. And we have to have we like to have 2 drivers, or a driver and a rider to go in the van. And you've got to have a strong back to do it because of all the stuff they pick up.
Okay. So if someone else wants to get involved, how can they go about doing that?
All they got to do is call me,
Okay.
and we'll put them to work.
Okay. Now, are there other community schools or anything that help assist in what you guys are doing?
Every year in December, Autryville Tech has a huge food drive for us. And it's wonderful. I mean, those kids really get out there and beat the bushes. And the first year I went and spoke to them, and this has been a few years ago, I really didn't think the boys were paying any attention to anything I said, especially the ones in auto mechanics. They sat there like they were just bored to death. So I thought, okay, you know, well, they won the contest. They have a contest and they've been winning it. Those boys get out there and they hustle. They might not be listening to me, but they sure got out there and moved the groceries. Okay. So, and then they get to bring, you know, they bring it to the soup kitchen, and then they have a party. So it's been a real good thing. And then the high school does a drive for us. And it's not near as big as Autry's, but it's still, every little bit helps.
Okay. So now if a person or a business wanted to contribute to the organization in any way, how can they go about doing that?
All they got to do is call.
Would you have a phone number or?
Well, it's 580-242-5718. That's the soup kitchen. Okay. And when somebody's there from 6 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. And what's the location of the?
We're at 616 West Randolph. We're straight across the school, straight across the street from the school. And there's a mural out front with Christ in the bread line on it. It's the only one in town.
Okay. Well, I'm very thankful. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for asking me. Appreciate it.